Nice Shorts theme song. Nice Shorts. Yeah.
Howdy, hey, and welcome to Nice Shorts.
I'm Fu Yang.
And I'm Johnny Niddle.
And this is a show where we interview animators about shorts they make.
Today we have Martyna.
Martyna is an independent,
self-taught,
director,
animator,
character designer,
and fabricator
from Warsaw, Poland.
In part one of her two-part interview, Martyna talks about Photon, a stop-motion animated music video.
She talks about working in small spaces
with clay.
During a hot summer.
We discuss her lifelong battle with good lighting.
And how hiring a cinematographer changed her life.
Plus, how it's different doing a music video for festivals as opposed to a typical animated film.
She even shares some stories about her time spent doing puppet workshops.
With many cool photos included.
And now on with the show.
Well, hello. So we're so happy you could be here. Big fan of your work, obviously. I think you have heard that from me plenty of times already.
Oh, no, I hate compliments.
Oh,
Really?
good. Okay, I promise that'll be the only one.
The only one, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I confirm it.
Other than that, you're just a complaining, grumpy person.
Yeah. I mean, I hate my work, to be honest. And it's a good thing, because one thing, if you are criticize your own work, it means that you are progressing. So I look at my old pieces of art or animations, and I said, like, no, I see a lot of mistakes, and that is fine because I can improve right now.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't like most of my stuff, but there are moments in it where like, how did I do that? Like where I really am happy with it.
Yeah, actually, I had moments because some time ago, I recorded a lot of behind the scenes of my work, and after that, like a couple of months later, I'm like, how I did this stuff? I need to rewatch my own behind the scenes because I forgot how to make hands, for example.
How long do you usually find out, there's something I can improve?
After a while, I guess. I don't know. I don't think about the stuff. It's just come to me.
When you're done, do you like just kind of push it aside and pretend like just forget about it other than making like, okay.
Yeah, because when I finish my work, I'm usually like, I'm not fully happy about it. I would do it better, but because of, for example, of the budget or the deadline, I couldn't do it better because I have my brief, what I should do in the animation. I have the price of it, and I'm thinking what I can do with the budget. And it's most of the time that I cannot do what I want. So I need to cut those things in puppet design, for example, or make less characters or make only 2 background scenographies or sets. So, and they are not always perfect.
Okay, so knowing that you don't like your past work, which we're going to talk about some of now.
Okay, sure.
I found my first animation ever.
Did you really? I want to see.
Okay, now?
Yeah. Right away.
Very, very first one.
Yeah, very, very, very first one.
And when was this?
2016, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long time ago. So I have no idea what I'm doing. And I think that's why I did it. Because like many people told me like, you want to do stop motion, but you know it's a lot of work. You won't manage to finish it in time. I think I was at school at the moment. I was studying graphic design, and I decided like, I can do stop motion for my diploma. And everyone's like, what? And so what I thought back then is it's not the whole piece, I just like edited some parts because I didn't know anything about animation, and I thought the more frames the better. But I wanted to cover my mistakes with the camera or make beautiful pictures. This is what I thought, but look at this scene. This is like camera movement with the focus, and I was so excited. And the lights in the I was so excited about it. I was so proud.
You should be proud.
Is it wrong that I still like it?
Yeah, it's very experimental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about. Well, some naked guy in the forest that was eaten by a plant. End of story.
Yeah, a story as old as time.
It's like a mythology feel. And I actually like people, they not have developed the technique yet, but the idea is always there. The idea is so sharp or so like so pioneering or so experimental, so brave. So it makes this work be very exciting to look at. And they've already accomplished so many things. It's including in lighting. A lot of people start from they cannot consider the lighting yet, but you already have some shot to tell something about it.
Lighting, I hate lighting. It's one of the hardest things, and I think the lighting makes animation more professional because when you set the lights properly, you have this really crispy image, and it looks very professional. Yeah. And I see in most of the beginners, motioners, that they just put some lamps and it's sometimes flickering even, but yeah, the light is very flat and it just looks bad. And it's also really hard to set the proper light, so I don't blame them.
So you hire so cinematographers you have now, right?
No, right now no, but I'm not working on anything. But I want to hire more people because like working with only by myself on bigger project is like not very possible. I mean, I love doing all of the stages in stop motion, but I also want to improve and I want my animation being more professional. So I really would like to collaborate with more people and make some beautiful masterpieces in the future.
When did you start? So you said that you started hiring someone to do the lighting though, and it made a huge difference. When did you start hiring someone to do lighting? How long ago?
I think 2 years ago. Yeah, before I was experimenting and I had only very cheap bulbs and IKEA lamps. And actually, I remember we worked on multiplane on one project that also used IKEA lamps, but it ended pretty cool. Also, I've worked on one project that was directed by Edgar Wright, like the whole movie, and the animation part was directed by Joseph Wallace, and there was parts on multiplane that we also used IKEA lamps. So it was really funny that we're making a Hollywood film.
Yeah, what film was that?
The Sparks Brothers. It's I think on Netflix. So.
What you work on that one with
IKEA
light? Oh my, that's amazing. Wait, that I thought is that already 2 years ago the production?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't remember, but yeah. So because the animation part was mix of a puppet animation, play, and cutouts, so I took care of the cutouts part, and I also like illuminate my own set, animate it, and prepare everything.
That's amazing. Wait, so the project is you work remotely or you need to go to on set to communicate with?
I've been on set, with everyone, and that was pretty cool.
Amazing. I was just watching that documentary a few days ago.
Really? I haven't seen that like at all.
Can you not watch your own work when it's like that?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to go to the premiere. It was in London, I guess, but it was like the COVID situation, so I couldn't go. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a like lazy person, so I should go.
You're so far from lazy, it's not even funny. You're like an action adventure hero in real life that decides to animate on the side.
Yeah, you never hike with me, so you don't know. I'm like, is it far away? Can I go home with? No, it's not like that. I promise.
But we'll come back to that because your photography is really cool too. But your photo shoots are like in the middle of nowhere, which means you're definitely not lazy.
Yeah, I mean, photography. I actually started my artistic journey. I don't know if I can call that. My second job was in a photography studio, so I learned how to properly take pictures because they were pack shots. So we really had to make the best quality pictures and learn about the light and So this is how I started, and then I prefer the nature and taking pictures of people, sometimes dogs.
Yeah. I wonder the connection because before I say, lighting is tricky, but your very early job is a lot need to relate to the light.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So yeah, but no, there's the difference because I was applying like the proper, beautiful illuminating product. And illuminating a set when you have to change between different moods, it's much different. But there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube according to like a live action set, but you can translate it to the smaller scale. So you set the lights the similar way, just in a smaller scale, if you know what I mean. Like the rules are the same.
Like life-size set and miniature set.
I feel like you decided to take a camera up one day. The lighting was difficult and it pissed you off, and you decided to spend the rest of your life fighting lighting. Like that's your whole career now, is like, I will defeat you, lighting.
Yes.
Can you recall again, like the very first work that you're hiring a cinematographer helping you? What's that work called?
Oh, that was this plasticine one, Photons.
Oh, that's the first collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. But it was so hard because this music video was made from plasticine. And I think it was starting to get hot. It was almost summertime.
It's melting.
And with all of the lights.
Yeah.
And we had really small space to record that.
So you were sweating a lot.
I mean, I was sweating. The plasticine was sweating, but it's basically this one.
Yes.
And yeah, so it was a mixture of 3D set and multiplane. And like multiplane, you are animating plasticine on glass, and the heat from outside, where you have covered windows with black curtain, and the light, everything was melting on the glass, and like every frame I had to clean the plasticine, the marks that were everywhere.
Oh my.
So so it was like me with the tissue cleaning the glass, plus in post-production as well. It was a lot of work.
Do you need to put something on the tissue, like soap or something to make it cleaner, or just wiping? Just
wiping.
Okay, dry wipe.
Yeah, but sometimes I just like, we will fix that in post. The worst sentence ever, but and of course that was me that had to clean it in post.
Yes.
Because in that one, you ended up, there's a shot where you actually melt the plasticine, right?
I think, Oh, I also shoot on macro lenses. There was like a grain of sand that I was animating with a tiny stick. And that was also tricky. There was like a lot of experimenting with this music video because we couldn't really have a script, and it wasn't actually a story. It was experimental music video about the organic view of the dead. So it was mostly things dying, things eating each other.
Sorry, so no script, no storyboards. You just went for it to audio. How?
I had some ideas that I just draw on paper and put on a wall, and like, this is a cool idea. We can make it. And there were like random scenes that I had in mind that we could shoot, because also it was plasticine, so it was really quick to sculpt and then shoot.
Okay.
So sometimes one day, like, I have a new idea, so I started to sculpt new things, and the same day we could animate that.
You got the music, and you're saying that the pitch or the brief is death, decaying. That's the keywords. But the following all the amazing creatures, because of that word, and then you come up all of this.
All the colors and everything.
But basically this is how I work. Like, I hear the music, like someone is texting me like, hey, I have this music and I have this idea, let's make it about the like organic point of view of that, and what do you got for me? And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm just listening to music with my eyes closed, and I just imagine stuff. And of course, before I did some tests, for example.
I like
test of style, and That was the first test I was doing. I didn't like them, but it was something.
So as someone who doesn't animate, how do you light that?
It was a top shot. There was only light from the bottom. There was like piece of paper and on top of a lamp. And yeah, like every piece of paper illuminated them.
So is it the same paper for each layer, and because of its distance, it is darker, or is it darker paper? Okay.
No, I think it was the same color of paper. Yeah.
But the light coming harder to go through. Okay. How does the musician find you? When's the conversation start with this piece?
I don't know. He just found me.
Do you know exactly where, like, because you have Behance with so many beautiful things, or is from Instagram or from your website?
I think it was from Instagram, to be honest.
Instagram, okay.
Yeah, your Behance is like a great place to take a vacation. It is good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think it's a compliment.
Oh, yeah, another compliment.
I forgot. I forgot. Actually, no, I didn't compliment you. I complimented your Behance.
Okay. You remember how long you make for this?
Like how long it took me to finish?
Yeah, from start to finish.
Because the preparation for that, I think it lasted longer than, actually shooting it. Like all of the tests and ideas that I had that I actually had to draw or write down. It took some time, but I really don't remember. I'm not very good, planner or organizer. So I don't really remember.
You are, if anyone wants to give you money to do stuff, you are a good organizer and planner.
Maybe. But if you work like only with yourself, or like there's only two people, you don't really have to make specific like detailed storyboards and in the script. We just like had something in mind between us, and we talked with the musician, and he was like, yeah, I understand you, I feel you, I agree on that. So I think it took me like around 3 months, but I cannot tell for sure.
So dumb question. That's all plasticine. When I was watching it, there's so many colors that are also bold. When you said they're all melting, is it hard to keep the colors separate when you're going to touch one then the next?
Not really, but I mean the shape is going like really not very well. The worst part was the smooshy, and for example with this guy with the water dog. Because he has really skinny hands, it was really hard to keep them on place. Actually, he had some armature inside, so there's like blocks of wood, I guess, wire, and wire in hands. And because he has such slim hands, the wire was coming out of them, and like the shape you can see, it was like not very great, and I had to fix it all the time and scoop it again. Yeah, and also everything I fixed it in post actually, because the plasticine was cracking or changing the shape that the way I didn't want.
So if you go touch like a red or yellow piece and then go to like a light blue piece, it doesn't stick to your fingers or anything, right? Like when it's hot and it's all melty?
It depends on the plasticine. Because I used 2 types of plasticine. I tested them, and one of them was more oily, and it was perfect for the plants, like the animation of them, and the shape was better with this oily one. And for characters, for example, this water dog, it was more harder and it was cracking easier. Yes. But it was actually more easy to smooth it out. If you
So it was like drying out, basically, kind of.
I mean, the texture of it was different. Okay. And it behaved differently.
Do you have any pictures of like how much plasticine you used for this whole thing?
Oh, no, but it was a lot.
Do you remember of the plasticine, the 2 different types, the product, like the more name. Oily, and the more dry one?
So the oily one, I don't know if like other countries have it, but it was really cheap, and it was Astra plasticine. And yeah, that was the cheapest. And yeah, for the plants was really good. And the second one for characters was Yovi.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like totally different textures, and they behaved differently.
This pink man.
Yeah, I love him.
Do you need to blend color for it, or this product already have that color?
It had this color. I think
Already.
Yeah, it was added a little, but yeah, it was really bright. Like all of the colors in this music video were so bright.
Oh, it's fantastic. And the reflections, like everything. So you used a lot of black backgrounds. Is that partially for budget and time?
No,
Okay.
it was the idea
Concept?
that we had. Yeah. But like illuminating black background on such a small scale, because we didn't have much space. It was, I guess, I don't know, like really small set and not enough space. And you have to separate the light from the background. So it should be big distance, so the light is not touching the background. So we actually had to block it somehow and create the biggest distance that we had, which was possible. Yeah, like illuminating such a dark space, also to keep the characters and everything what we have in light was kind of tricky. You can see here, like there's a light and it's all covered with this black wrap, and it's only pointing on the character and blocking the lights all around.
Like a spotlight feel?
Yeah, something like that.
Something you do in a few videos that I really like, and I'm curious if you're fascinated by it, is the little kind of like either water air bubble or like the droplets that come off of stuff like a wisp. Tell me about that.
It's like a morphine.
Just tell me about that.
Yeah,
morphine. Yeah, it's a fun thing and really easy to make. So I don't know. What do you want to know? Yeah, like how I came up with it.
Let's say with the ones on this, you did it. I'm guessing you did them on the downshooter separate and then put them in.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. In post production, I just put them in. Yeah, because they were like in this scene, for example, and yeah, it was impossible to shoot because it was 3D. And yeah, so I animated separately on the multiplane and then put it in post production.
So you said they're easy to do?
Yeah. Why?
Oh, I don't. To me, everything is really hard looking. I like. There's nothing about this I look at and go, well, that looks easy. Like nothing. Look at that. Even your behind the scenes, like even this picture of the behind the scenes, the picture you took looks hard to do. Like nothing looks simple.
Maybe I'm just used to the hardness, and for me it's easy because it's my everyday life. My tolerance is different.
It's cool, but like the slight underwater kind of waviness and then like the little air bubbles, it seems like something that you're really drawn to or that you seem to have the most fun with.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like both.
Period.
Well said.
It was much fun. I don't know what I can say. It's easy to do, and it looks like everything around is alive. So
right.
it gives really nice effects, and it's not hard to do.
So you mentioned there was a lot of tricky things with the lighting on this because it was so small. Anything you want to share that you learned from it? Like any tips on what you did do?
I mean, like I did not illuminate that set. I had a cinematographer with me. Did I learn anything? Yeah, I wish. I was actually like in the other corner of the room and sculpting some new stuff, and he was like, okay, your set is ready, you can animate. I'm like, okay.
Wow, that saved a lot of brain storage. So in order for him to make that set for you, is that through your concept art, through your drawing? Is that how you communicate with him?
No, I gave him a free hand. He also had his vision, how he wanted to illuminate that. I just dropped some ideas and he was like, yeah, okay, I will work with that.
So it's like keywords. Can you kind of
Yeah.
like with the pink man with the fire, the glowing. Do you remember how do you describe to him, and then he comes up this idea with you?
Yeah, but the ideas were changing all the time. So maybe I had some like, okay, I sculpted this guy and we have those plants, and maybe I want a light coming out from the plants. And he set up the light and like asked if this is okay. And I'm like, yeah, it's perfect. And okay, what we can do with this? And then I started to think how we can animate that, or what's the actions gonna be.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So while you were animating, was he hanging around like just
Yeah.
chilling? Okay.
Yeah, just chilling.
And then
playing games.
Okay. I was imagining like you're just sitting there animating and hearing like his little like games in the background the whole time.
And I'm like, I want to play too. I don't wanna
So this later on, the scene with like the lights that are in all the plasticine pieces, did he do that then, or did you do those?
Yeah, there was a part that we put LED lights inside the plasticine, this UV one, because it was so transparent in a way. And every piece had a different color, and it was such a neon cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually his idea. He was like, oh, I want to try this thing. So we drilled holes in the set and put LED lights and then cover it with plasticine, and then I animated that. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
That is, I think one of the coolest things about that is he said, I have an idea, and you're like, let's try it. That's rad.
That sounds fun. Like just follow the flow.
We were like experimenting a lot on this because we didn't have any script, and we can just go for it. Any idea we had, we just like, yeah, we can do it.
How do you find your cinematographer?
Oh, we met at the shooting of the Kite. It was a short film by Martyna. I have my reel. And actually, like the story behind shooting this film was really funny, because it was a student film, and we shot it in Wrocław because the director won the first prize in Animact stop motion forum. So we had limited time in the studio, so there was like, I don't know, like 4 animators or 3, and we had night and day shifts. So it looked like one animator was animating the whole day, the other one was sleeping, and the first one was waking up, the other one is like, okay, time to work. And I didn't know, that was my first film I've ever worked for, like someone hired me to animate, and I didn't actually know what's up. And the director asked me, do you prefer to have day or night shifts? And I was like, yeah, night is all right. I can work till, I don't know, 9 p.m. That's fine. And it came out like, no, it was like till 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. So we knew everything about ourselves. We just like gossiping around the whole night about everything. So yeah, that was pretty intense time, but really nice.
Yeah, it comes out great.
What did working on that stage teach you? Because you did your stuff at home, right?
Yeah.
So what did you learn? Like, what did you take away from seeing that you were able to bring back to your home, besides cinematographers?
Actually, yeah, a lot. But I cannot specify what exactly. Because, like on this film, I also helped with some puppets, for example, or I had to set up some backgrounds or the scenography. And I mean, I think that's why they hired me as well, because they knew I kind of do everything, and because it was a student project, like everyone had to do everything in a way.
Yeah, because this music video, it goes with abstract, it goes with experiments, and it goes to festival. So for that decision, is that very beginning the musician want to try with that, or you persuade him? I think this will be great to show in a festival.
Yeah, that was my idea. I think I always push it to festivals anyway. But yeah, the thing with music videos is that it's mainly outside the main competition. So there's not much, like you cannot win any prizes from that. But it's cool that people can watch that. And sometimes I do that before the online premiere. I push it to the festival so people can watch it on the big screen before it's actually online, because like you can watch it online and you can watch it on the cinema. So it's like, so yeah.
Is there any tricky thing, or you need to get permission from the musician that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Is there something you need to be careful? And also Johnny can share with that, like if your music piece need to collaborate and go to the festival route, what thing need to be aware of?
Right. Yeah. But that's what I'm curious. You have been good. Like you share the links, like so you embed the actual video from the artist. I'm curious, are there ways you can share it other places without it getting stricken down for copyright?
So always I discuss with the artist if he's or them, they're okay with me sharing it in those platforms, even on Instagram, if they're okay if I show some behind the scenes. Like I always discuss that. And yeah, with the music, there's always an agreement that the music can go to the festivals and on the screenings. And yeah, I think that's it.
Is that in the contract, or is that just a conversation you have
Yeah,
after?
it's on the contract always.
Are these independent artists, or are they on labels?
Some of them were under labels, so the contract were through the label sometimes.
And then did they have like stipulations, like you can not show it in the festival until this date, and you can only show it until this
sure.
date? Okay.
Yeah, there was some limitations as well. Yeah.
In the contract, because if you're on a label, you can do a song, you can do a video, and the song can still get killed off. So is there anything in the contract? Are you allowed to show the work if they kill the song?
I think no. I mean, like I did some works for guys that were under a label, and I didn't even share it on Instagram because they say like they are buying all of the copyrights. So like all of the rights goes to them.
Well, that's one of the tricks too, right? Because when you put your music out, it's all got digital watermarks on it. So sometimes even if they say it's okay, if you share the video, sometimes social media will depending on what label, it might just get pulled regardless. So I'm curious, have you encountered anything like that?
Never, but I think like, for example, on Facebook or this kind of things, the artist can, I don't know, because I really don't know this kind of stuff and I don't want to say anything wrong. So I prefer not to say anything.
No, that's fine.
But I think the artist or the label had to approve that this is on some platform.
Okay.
I think I had this once, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Enough,
thank you for sharing. Yeah. It's still helpful. And so far, if your category is for music, is that usually for the festival, they are okay with the music can already be online screening, or they will still hoping the music video can be not shown public yet?
Because like in most of the festivals that I apply, there's the sections for music videos, and you actually have to, like the musician have to agree that the screens will be on this and that festival.
So they have to sign off on it?
Sometimes, but not always. You just like write that they are fine with this.
Is it okay?
Like,
sure.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm always curious about this one, especially, yes, the right is shared with the music part and also your piece. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for helping with this, the information. Yeah.
What are the rules, or like not rules, but what is the best practices of sharing it without audio? Like, is that a no? Like, is it rude, or is it easier to do it like that?
Without audio, what do you mean?
Like, so when you put it on your reel, with the reel's fine. But like, let's say you just want to do behind the scenes and you're showing a long clip.
Yeah.
But do you sometimes pull the music out just to not worry about it, or do you always have it with the music?
I think now it changed a little bit because I had this problem, but I didn't use the music from the musicians. I just put some music, like different ones, and sometimes Instagram or Facebook took this down because of the copyright. But now, because Instagram became TikTok and you can put any music you want, there is not such a problem because you can edit that and add music in Instagram, and that's totally fine. Yeah.
Good
because
point.
It's also a promotion for the different artists.
Oh yeah, okay.
And we get like 1/1,000,000th of a penny for each time.
Yeah.
How about, without complimenting you,
Yes.
let's talk about your puppets, because your puppets, not you, your puppets are really good.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Okay. But so, because you have from like your first films all the way to, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but Forest Warrior, you did in the workshop, like, holy hell.
Okay. So that was a workshop in Łódź, in Poland, that we learned how to make like very professional puppets. The people who teach us were working on Isle of Dogs and all of the cool stuff. So they had all of the professional equipment.
Those workshops, you need to go in person. Is there remote courses for that?
I think not now, because it was like they did a test of a course.
Okay.
If it will work or not.
Is there a big stop motion scene out there?
In Poland?
Yeah.
This guy. It was like Poland was very famous from stop motion that was made in here, but right now it changed a lot. But I think we want to like recover what we had. So there are some studios in Poland, but I don't know. We will see.
You are one of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the puppet. Yeah. So I did it with the friends. So there was like 2 people for 1 puppet to make, and I was actually I should take care of clothes, and she was more of a sculptor. But we actually like change some stuff, like change between those 2 stages. Like I sculpted some things, and she did some of the clothes. But yeah, like making the replacement faces and stuff.
Do you just start flat out sculpting in clay to get an idea for doing the mold, or do you do it on paper first with some drawings, or what do you do?
Yeah, first the drawing and to set up the scale and more or less how the face will look like, or the whole body. Yeah, because the proportions were important.
So when you're figuring out the scale after you draw it, like, are you literally measuring it out and then doing the math?
Yeah, it should be that way. We didn't do it that way. That's why, like the head and like feet and arms are a little bit bigger than they should be. But usually you should make a lineup of the character, like really measuring everything. So it should be like 1-to-1. Exactly the scale on paper and the puppet, the final puppet. But yeah,
this is incredible. How long ago was this? At the butt.
Yeah, the bats are very important. I think 1 month. It was 1 month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it was really short time to do this. Like in 1 month, everything.
Is that you need to go every day, or it's like
every day?
Every day.
Except weekends.
Okay. 8 hours type of thing?
I think even more. I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
Really whole day there.
Intense.
Wow.
Yeah, and in this bad case, because actually it's very important to make the shape of a body that is actually under the clothes.
Okay.
So like the butt was really important for the clothes to look realistic.
Yeah.
And also, like you can see there are like different foams. So it also imitates, for example, muscles. The harder foam is like muscles, like it should be in a place and in a part of the body that is not moving very much. So for example, the belly is from softer sponge, something like this. So the chest is harder, the butt is also harder, and the belly and knees have parts of softer foam. And on top of that, there is something that imitates skin, like a very thin layer of foam. So when you move the puppet, this foam imitates movement of the skin, and clothes can move easily as well. So this is interesting.
When you were doing these, were the armatures all pre-built and like set, or were you designing?
Yeah, okay. They were pre-built, but we had armatures, but we also could like make a sketch, and they would change the armature to the sizes that we want.
That's cool.
So we had some small adjustments in our rigs. I think we had 2 sizes, like the bigger and smaller. This one was the smaller rig armature.
So since 2 of you worked on it, who got to keep it?
No one.
As workshop.
Yeah, they took it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is it okay? We can go back to the bot. That photo. I'm just curious. Like when you mentioned about the skin, that texture, is that grayish? That one?
Yeah, it's on top of all of the different foams. Like here would be also a separate layer of this skin foam, and it's really thin, like a small pieces of.
You can wrap it kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, but how is the butt is shaped? Like underneath the phone, you say it's harder, so it's another.
Yeah, it's this red one. So
it's the red one.
To glue it, and she glued the really small scissors, so it has the shape of the butt. But of course, like this red foam, when you cut it with scissors, it won't be perfect. The shape won't be perfect. Yeah. So this skin layer imitates and smooths everything out.
Okay.
When you wrap it, the shape won't be chunky anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, thank you. So also the calf muscle.
Yeah, and on top of that, there's like ghost clothes, and everything fits perfectly.
That's a great idea. Like, yeah, that's really cool. You gave the puppet some great calves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That puppet, I mean, the forest warrior, so walking around a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we can put in our guest question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me pull it up. This is a question from the last guest. So the question from Casey was, how do you fill your well? What do you do to fill yourself up so you can continue to put things out into the world?
I go for a hike, and then I go back full with inspirations, and I feel better. I don't know. Is this answer acceptable?
Any answer is an answer, yeah. So from your photography and just everything, like it seems like hiking is your default, like favorite thing to do, your pastime.
Yeah, and while camping and stuff. Yeah, because you need to refresh your brain. You cannot stay in the same place all the time. I also like to travel a lot. Like I move places a lot. Like I moved to Warsaw a couple of months ago, and then in January I will probably move to South America for a couple of months.
South America?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because life, you know.
Okay.
Oh, the nature.
Any location in particular? Because that's a big area.
Yeah, it's a big area. I don't know where I will end up. For sure, I will stay in Buenos Aires for 1 month, maybe.
Okay.
But the rest, I will just go around and hike and see beautiful things.
Nice.
And have fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And meanwhile, like I will not take any projects. I'm gonna only work on my feature film. So I have a lot of things to draw and design. So it will be like a couple of months of me being in another continent and draw and design things.